Sorry, guys, man. Streaming after a loss is not what I've done for a long time. It's been so long since I've had to stream after a loss. But unfortunately, it's happened today. Today is that day. We lost against Bayern Munich from individual errors. FC. Chelsea needs to improve massively. Bayern Munich 3, Chelsea 1. Champions League review show. I've got guests joining. Disappointing, man. I've been on stream trying to defend Chelsea, trying to bring balance, but here we can have the real balance at Ches99, the blue brother himself. We have 12 subscribers from hitting 2.2k. So everybody in the building, if you could do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, because it helps the channel massively grow and it helps new people just like yourself join and enjoy the content. So everybody who joins this live, smash that like for me. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and put your comments in. The comments are so important because it gets me involved. It gets everybody involved. Everyone's in tune, and we get to talk about Chelsea together. But don't forget, 50% of you are not subscribed. So if you're here and moving like a bozo, you know what to do. Wagwan, innit? You know what to do. And chat, man, I need you guys to talk to me. I need you guys to talk to me about how you're feeling about yesterday, the disappointment, the unfulfilling nature of the result, the issues you're speaking about for months and months and months and months and months, and everyone's general feelings, how they're feeling after the game about Chelsea and the management, how we're seeing things viewed, etc. Because at the moment in time, it's not ideal. It wasn't a great game yesterday, and it's very disappointing, man. It's a bit. After the Brentford game, I was in Greece. So I wasn't able to give you guys my opinion. I wasn't able to give you guys my assessment of the game. And I wasn't able to give you guys my raw reaction because I was very, very annoyed after that one. I was very, very annoyed after that result. But yesterday didn't feel the same as Brentford. It didn't feel the same as like disappointed in that regard. It was different. It was a different feeling. It was a different vibe. I wasn't angry. I wasn't stressed, but I was a bit disappointed in terms of all the issues we've been speaking about for months and months and months with this team. It all came out in one game. It all came out in one game. And to see it all unfold in that way was very, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. And it annoys me, man. I wish we could have just performed better, but I'm not too sure on how I'm meant to take that game in. I'm not too sure how I'm meant to see the performance through. How do I assess it? Do I blame individual errors? Was it on the manager? What's you guys' thoughts? I want to know you guys' thoughts. Put your comments in below and let's see how you guys are feeling about that. And we've got some guests in the background we're going to bring in a minute. But everybody, put in your comments. How are you feeling now the game is done? Now the dust is settled. Now we're able to assess the game, look at the tactics, look at players who performed and who didn't, and see how we can go from there. In that regard. So let me know, people, then. What are you saying? How's everyone feeling? Because I'm a bit disappointed, I'm not gonna lie to you. We got Jesse here. But people, then, how are we feeling? And before I bring up Mesh's comments on the game and Cole Palmer's, let's see how you guys are feeling as well. And let's bring up Cole Palmer's comments right now because at the end of the day, he was the star player yesterday. We're going to speak about in more detail. So, a lot of feedback there, Jesse. So let me know when you're ready. But a lot of players performed decent yesterday. No more so than Cole Palmer. Yes, frustrating. We deserve more. We started well, had early chances, but then when you make mistakes at his level, it's difficult. There was lack of concentration, not managing the moments correctly. Facts. That's a fact. I don't know what happened in the second half. We're not coming in to learn the curve. We want to compete. And then Mreshka says, overall, I think the performance was quite good. We started very well for 20 minutes, creating chances. When we conceded the goal, we can avoid that kind of goal. We were in the game and scored. This is right after they scored their second penalty. And then we played well for 90 minutes, not just part of the game. So you can't switch off. And then Malo Gusto, Sanchez, Cole were all very good. And I agree with him. They were very good yesterday. And it was good to see our top players kind of perform. And even Sanchez, a player no one really rates, even he performed to a good level, you know? So hopefully we can see some strife and some positivity moving forward. But overall, I was a bit upset that we didn't. It's just you know what it is, guys. It's the bozo moments. It's the bozo moments which kill Chelsea. It's not. It's not the. It's not the play. Like if anybody watched the game, like if only watched the game, you know Chelsea didn't get slapped up. It was a very competitive game of football. First time in the Champions League for a lot of these players, and it wasn't as if they were ducks in Malta and they didn't know how to handle it. It was just the bozo moments. The quality from our centre backs in particular just isn't the level. And like I explained on Sam's stream just now, they're squad players starting at centre back. They're ultimately squad players starting at centre back, and every now and again they're showing why they're not the level. Like every now and again they're showing why they're not the level. Every now and again they're showing why they're not, you know, the level required to win. Because maybe if we had a Van Dijk and Steve right there, we don't concede those goals and we nick it because Cole Palmer gets his quality goal. And I feel like we're a bit top heavy right now. There's a lot of attackers and midfielders who are doing well, but then the defense is a bit questionable at times. You know, it's a bit
Yes, yes,
disappointing.
yes, you're hearing me?
Yeah, you had a bit of feedback before, but all good, all good.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, all good, all good, brother. But I was just saying that. Oh, well, this is the overall performance segment. We're talking about
Mhm.
overall, nothing in particular. But I'm just saying, at the moment, we feel a bit top heavy, where our attack actually looks very fluid. Jar Pedro, Cole Palmer's been actually electric the last 3 games, this season in particular. But the defense is always questionable. It's always waiting for that mistake to happen. You know what's going to happen in our defense. It's a big shame.
I
I don't know.
I totally agree. But let me add some stuff to this, right? One, I believe Bayern Munich knew what we were going to do. They very well knew we were going with the starting lineup we were going to go with. They knew that we were going to use the same exact starting lineup what we did against PSG in the Club World Cup, minus Levi Colwell being there. They had a plan for us. And equally, we made mistakes. They forced those mistakes, you know. They forced those mistakes. Equally, the consistency what we had in the FIFA Club World Cup, where Sanchez was able to hit the ball long to Malo Gusto and be precise with it. We didn't have that. We didn't have that yesterday. Players playing
Yeah,
ball, misplaced passes, they forced those errors. We gave Bayern Munich those 3 goals: a own
mm-hmm.
goal, a penalty, and a misplaced pass. We gave the ball, Malo Gusto gave the ball to them. They forced those errors. Reece James, to me, looks out of sort in the midfield because at the beginning, the first 20 minutes of the game, we had some bit of control. We looked unfazed, right? Reece James looked like he was tasked with tracking Gnabry, or sometime you would have seen him with Harry Kane.
Yeah,
But
Harry
what they
Kane.
were
Yeah,
doing, yeah, what they were doing so good, Harry Kane was dropping deep into their half, and Reece James would have tracked them there. So now you would have seen Caicedo by himself in that midfield. And so on Reece James, because I was watching Reece James perfectly. He was getting dragged out of position a lot in the game.
he was.
One final thing. Yes, he was. I was watching him because Harry Kane was dropping deep. So when Harry
Mm-hmm.
Kane dropped deep in his half, Reece James will track him. So now you will see Bayern Munich have runners. Elise will pull in the, slightly in the midfield to give the option. That's why Elise had a free run yesterday. He had a free run. And also Enzo Fernandez. Let's make it clear, it might have worked once, but Enzo Fernandez is not a number 10. Stop it. That game yesterday, Joao Pedro, he didn't get any service. Enzo Fernandez is a box crasher. He will crash into the box and try to score goals. he's not a natural number 10. That can't happen. I was
Yeah,
saying
that should be João Pedro position where Enzo was.
that should be João Pedro position. What it is I was saying, even if they didn't want to move João Pedro from playing as the number 9, they could have make a sacrifice and make a slight tweak, a tactical tweak in the second half. Either take off Malo Gusto or Reece James, you put on Estevar Willian, let him play on the right, and you push Cole Palmer as the number 10. Now you would have a connection between the midfield to the attack, somebody who's natural in that position. We didn't have that.
Yeah, let's talk
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but yeah.
Let's talk about big up Jesse as well. Big everybody in the building. More people flood in. To make sure you're liking the video, and Jesse and Couch's channels will be there as well when their respective URLs that they use. So let's talk about in particular. Jesse, if you have feedback, mute in between, and when you want to talk, you can mute yourself, G. Perfect. But let's talk about in particular issues in the team that ultimately led us to not winning the game result. And for me, let's start with the centre backs. There's 3 segments I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about centre backs. I'm going to talk about the João Pedro issue in terms of where he should be on the pitch and our clinical edge. And I'm going to talk about the manager and the way we set up sometimes and his late subs and the tactics and stuff. But Couch, let's talk about the centre backs and ultimately where we were undone in the game. Because all the rivals I've spoken to in the last night and then today, they all said we're in the game. They all said we're in the game, we were competing. But
I don't know about that.
For me, I'll give my opinion. I think they controlled the game in terms of, like Jesse said perfectly, they knew our game plan. So you could tell they were passing around us. There's loads of opportunities for them you see Kane dropping in and Gnabry will go into the middle and then pass it out wide. At least they was isolated with Cucurella a lot. So they were dragging our wingers out into the middle as well, forcing us to lose the ball a lot. Poor mistakes from what's his name? Sanchez playing off the back wasn't great. All those made good saves. But Chalobah and Tosin, they did show yesterday they're not that level. But I want to get how you thought they played as a partnership. Do you blame them for any of the goals? And how do you think they played?
Yeah, of course I blame them for the goals, man. Like my man put it in his own net.
There was a lot of scrutiny the last 3 hours after the game. Sorry, they've had a lot of a lot of criticism.
I mean,
what's the thought on that?
I don't know. I don't think that I don't think that that center back pairing is what we thought would be title contending center back pairing. It's supposed to be just adequate, right? And when you're going up against top opponents like the Bayern yesterday, the Liverpools, these types of things, those guys are going to get exposed. But to be honest, I'm not even quite sure because there's a lot of things that happened in that game yesterday that was a little bit out of sorts for me. Like I didn't like Cucurella's game. I didn't like the partnership of Reece James and Caicedo. I thought that they were being dragged about. But like with that said, I think the game plan was kind of weird too. Like we basically mimicked the game that we played against PSG, which we were man marking all over the pitch. And I think Bayern Munich took advantage of that, pulling people out of position, dropping in what's his name? Harry Kane into the areas. And that whole thing, like there's situations on the pitch where I saw Caicedo on the left touchline and Reece James beyond our center back pairing, trying to mark Harry Kane. Yeah. And if anyone watches football, you know that your screen in front of that back 4, back 3, whatever it is, they have to stay. They can't be be pulled out of position. They have to be staying central for the most part, to provide that shield. And we just did not have that. There were so many opportunities where we're getting pulled out of position due to the man marking. And as a result, we're getting played through. We're getting played through effortlessly. So for me, the game didn't really come down to the actual center back pairing. Yes, it could be better. I think that Harry Kane has proven again that he's one of the best, strikers in the world. And he was crafty. He was able to drop deep, give us a lot of problems, not only for the goals but also for the way that they wanted to build up. And yeah, I just think that like the way that we set up the man mark. I know we changed it at times in the second half, like where we weren't really going to man mark. We're looking to just like stay in and see if we can win the ball. But the thing is, the way with Bayern's movement and stuff like that, you absolutely have to, be able to put pressure on the ball. And I don't remember when we threatened their back line as far as our press goes. I don't remember an instant where we put them under any sort of pressure where we're moving cohesively together as a unit. I thought Enzo was nowhere to be found. I thought Yao Pedro looked labored and tired. And I thought that Cole Palmer was the only one in that front four, however you want to categorize it, that had any real energy to go after and chase after balls. Now, when you have a Neto who is, an energy demon, that's one of the things that you expect to see from him more often than not, using his energy to at least close down opponents, and he's nowhere near things. That's when you got problems, because a team like Bayern, once they're on the ball and they're looking to play it into the half spaces and whatnot, that's a very dangerous proposition that you put yourself in if you're not closing the spaces fast enough. So I watched the game a couple times, and these are the things that I saw. Like, these are the things that I noticed were, because I remember we were talking about it in the chat, and I was like, well, I didn't really think Reece James was that bad. And then after having watched it again, I have to take that back, because I don't think that partnership worked in tandem well. So as far as Tosin, sorry, just let me finish. As far as Tosin and Chalaba goes, yeah, they gave me what I expected them to give me. They're not top elite level center backs, and when you go up against top elite level opponents, they're going to leave you wanting. So that's kind of where it is right now.
Be up Dev in the background there. Jesse's there as well. Dev. They'll get their opinions involved. Going to Dev in a second. What are you saying? Let's respond to Den's point. Yeah, I think it's spot on. The way you broke down the system is spot on, because it didn't feel like during the game, although we were competitive in terms of we did create chances being in the game, we scored our goal, we had a few breakaways on the left-hand side that gave us a bit of joy. We didn't do enough during the game to expose.
Yeah, and like, to be honest, like I would say that Bayern was sort of like, Bayern was sort of like shell shocked within the first 15, 20 minutes. And then after they came to grips with what we were trying to do, they took control of the game. I don't remember an opportunity after they went up 1-0, 2-0, where we were. It
was only when they decided to sit back towards the end of the game and they relieved possession that Chelsea created opportunities. Then Garnacho had a few shots.
That Enzo chance could have changed the landscape of everything.
Of course.
That was early on, though.
Yeah, we're going to speak about
during that 15-minute spell, if we bang that goal in while they're shell-shocked, you might have got a similar effect at PSG, but that's a hypothetical.
Of course, you would have. No, you would have. Football change. Sorry, goals change games. Like, small margins is the difference. Like, Bayern Munich weren't particularly in their standards. Yes, I agree with them. Their game plan worked.
They were good. They were good. They were
really
good.
The game plan worked, but I'm not going to sit here. I disagree a little bit. I don't think they were great. I don't think that a better team or better management setup definitely exposes Bayern Munich yesterday. I'm not saying that actually results in a win, but I don't think Chelsea did the best they can tactically to get on top of Bayern Munich, in my opinion. I think.
Olise should have scored. Like, let's be real. Olise should have scored, and Harry Kane should have had a hat trick. Like, there were some.
Olise should have had an extra assist. Olise should have had an extra assist and another goal.
Yeah, I agree that Bayern Munich should have scored more, but that's based off the way Chelsea set up. I'm saying the way we set up was wrong. So maybe if we set up better, like for example,
what would you have done in the setup? Like given what we had, like what would you have done setup wise?
For me, the problem is no Delap. Okay, I'm going to go back to the main point. I was thinking about it in the game. I realized a lot, Dev. This is where you get to speak, and Jesse as well. I realized how much we missed a focal point number 9 yesterday, because I was watching the game, and that system would have worked a lot better if João Pedro was in Enzo's position. Enzo was poor. We can speak about Enzo on his own. Me and Devin Couch spoke about it before. He's been poor recently, and yesterday he didn't stand out. And him playing in the 10, not providing what we need to get from him, makes a big difference. We missed a focal point number 9 because the way João Pedro was getting on the ball, he wasn't able to run at his players because he's got no space. He's looking around him. Cole Palmer's on the right, isolated sometimes. Enzo's not really there all the time to support him. He's on his own. He loses the ball. How many times did João Pedro guys in the chat get the ball trying to dribble 3 players, trying to weave out of 4 tackles? Yes, he picked up a few fouls. Yes, he linked up at times. Overall, like then saying, Bayern Munich got used to that. They got used to him getting on the ball and trying to nibble out tackles because there's no support for him. The players are too far away. I personally would have not played Reece James in midfield. I would have put Enzo back with Caicedo, maybe a bit more offensive. Trust your midfield. If Lavia was fit, I'd rather play Lavia, but cool. I'd put João Pedro and then Martin Gu. I know he's not going to do that, but I'm just saying what I would have done because at least it would have occupied Kim Min-jae and Tar. Tar was not great. He was not great in that game. I don't think
he was getting exposed. And to be honest, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the problem is we didn't get a lot of opportunities for João Pedro to strike at goal. But I thought his overall play was actually quite good. I thought he was
I'm
winning
not
a lot of
saying
his
him
duels.
as a player was bad then. I'm just saying it wasn't, the system didn't help him. He was good. Like to do what he needed to do. But the system did not help him. He had no one to link up with. How often did you see João Pedro do a 1-2 shot like he did against Brentford? For example.
And that's exactly,
I get you.
And that's exactly what it is I was more or less referring to earlier on, right? This is why I said Enzo Fernandez, it probably worked in the PSG game because they probably weren't expecting that. But Bayern Munich knew we were going to play the same exact team against them that we played in the Club World Cup final. They set traps for us that we didn't even see. We didn't see it.
Yeah, I agree.
They set traps, and equally we made our own mistakes by giving those goals away. Again, Enzo Fernandez, as Shez just said rightfully, I was watching this game and I was like, man, if we only had the lap. Because as he just said rightfully, he would have occupied the center backs. He would have pulled the center back out of position. João Pedro is not going to do that. And equally, João Pedro wasn't even getting any service. He got nothing. I felt sorry for the guy because you're seeing he's up there, he's trying. He even started to drop deep at points in time. So I was like, if we only had the lap. And I really thought Enzo Maresca would have made those changes halftime. When we went into 1 down, I was like, this is it. Immediately make these changes because everyone.
Okay, what were the changes you'd make though? Sorry, Jesse, what changes would you have made?
All right, we already knew he would have never trusted Marc Guiu in a big game like this. This is why I said if you wanted to leave João Pedro as the number 9, either Cousteau or Reece James, you take off one of them. You put one of them as the right back. You drop Enzo Fernandez back in his natural position again. Among Caicedo, you put Cole Palmer as the number 10, and you put what's his name? Esteban Williams as the right wing, as the right forward. That's what I would have done at halftime
against Man United.
I just think that creates other problems. Like when you do that, like. For me, I thought that the setup was fine. I just didn't think we got the performances, based on what we have available to us.
No, the setup was real. The setup was good, That's not the thing. But at the same time, it wasn't working.
That means
after that goal,
that means it wasn't good then.
No,
the
not
setup was
just
right.
that. What contributed to that, the setup starting to fail, is we scored an own goal. So now players their mentality started to drop, and Bayern Munich and players started to go helter-skelter. After that goal scored, that next 5 minutes, I saw we was doing all kind of nonsense that we weren't doing in the first 15 minutes.
Exactly.
That goal shocked us, rattled us.
Exactly.
Go on, Dev, because there's mixed opinions in the chat, mixed opinions in the panel.
Let me just drop this quick bit. A part of it too was that shell shock you saw from Bayern in the first 15 was put right onto us. And when we were shell shocked, we didn't know how to react to it. as Jesse said, when that first goal went in, you could see a couple of the players. I'm not going to name drop so people think I have agendas. Just their head sort of went a bit, and you knew they fully went when that third goal went in. When Kane scored that third goal, a lot of players' heads dropped. Like weren't trying to get back into it. Maybe Palmer, Caicedo, but a lot of players' heads dropped. And part of the thing with me with this team is we still got to build that mentality, man. Like it's all good and well doing it in the Club World Cup, and I'm not downplaying that. But now in this season and the Prem and the Champions League, the lights are on us, man. The pressure is on us. And right now, if you're just going based on, the initial too early in the season, it looks like we're not handling the pressure well. So I just want to see the team from a mentality standpoint, to give it the full 90. Because that's the only thing that has me sort of disappointed in the performance is that I could tell our mentality went before the end of the game, before the whistle was blown. And that you're not going to win in a major. You're not going to go far in the season. I want to
make something clear. I completely agree. The mentality dropped. But then I'm looking at the manager. I was meant to do individual segments on this, but because we're having a conversation,
go ahead.
I'm just going to make it into one. Okay? I am looking at the manager because from the first half until they got the third goal, you can clearly see the system was getting worse. The possession was being relinquished. There's no chance of being created. We've all mentioned that. João Pedro wasn't getting any shots off. Palmer was barely getting on the ball. Change something that will change the mentality and give them a bit of hope. There's only 2-1. We'll change this personnel, bring a little pace, maybe get into Garnacho, whatever you need to do to change it up. He didn't. And then we conceded, which made it even worse. And then when you concede 3 goals away from home against any big team, a Bayern, a Inter, these kind of level, it is very hard. Naturally, even for big teams. And then bigger teams maybe get back, like a Liverpool. But our level kind of teams, which is the tier below right now, we don't have those kind of quality players where it could be a bad management, but then Salah could score a banger. Like they can have a bad game and Van Dijk gets a header from a corner, Like yesterday we scored
on the 90th minute,
There we go. Like you kind of like get away with it a bit, even though he didn't perform great. Okay? That's why I'm looking at the manager, because he didn't change anything. We were all messaging on the chat together.
No, but it was one of those where how all managers, they try to go into the second half where they're like, I saw some positive things. Let me try to let it play out for 15 minutes in the second half and see how it goes. And he was wrong this time. He did. You're right. But I'm saying another game, instead of us getting scored on, we might have scored that goal. Like sometimes it goes in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. It's like how people are going at Maresca and they're like, oh, he should have done something. But I heard a lot of people saying they wanted this exact formation, this exact lineup. So it's like at a certain point, sometimes it just doesn't work correctly. And Maresca should have seen that and at least made some changes or attempted to make changes. But when you look at the bench, how many changes could he really have made? And then that goes back to the board. But that's neither here nor there. I was just saying, he was trying to see what was going on.
Saying about like, is a team everyone wanted to see play? And, everyone was excited to see that team. And I think, I don't know if Den or Jesse said it, but the players underperformed. I think it's a bit of both. And I think, in my opinion, a team has the most confidence when everybody feels confident in the team. That makes sense. In the game plan. Like the PSG game plan, we can all see. You could tell by the way they played. They were confident. They knew what they were doing. They had the mentality to win. All of that combined means you win 3-0 in the first half. One of those things is different. Maybe you don't have the same performance. So this game today.
I think Jesse hit it. Like the things that were working for us in the PSG game just weren't in this game. Like Sanchez wasn't really finding the mark on the passes. I'm pretty sure that I said when we got together to talk about the game, I was talking about the switches, like the being able to work it down one flank and then switch it accurately, because that's where the difference was going to be. And we were just over hitting passes the entire game. Opportunities where we could find people in space, they couldn't catch up to it.
James,
that to
Sanchez,
me, Reece James, everyone was doing it. Caicedo did it. Like we had to be better with our execution. And when it wasn't like we were terrible in that regard, but like when you're not 90 and above against a team like Bayern at home,
honestly, man,
it's going to be problematic. And I think that that's what came to the fore. Like, we just weren't at our best, which was what I was worried about going into it, because I didn't think that we've been playing any good football the entire start to the season. And when you're not playing at your best against an opponent like Bayern, you get punished. I don't think that like Maresca did anything wrong in terms of the setup. He was just unfortunate not to get the performances that we were looking to get. And yeah, like Neto just looked tired, B. Like, I mean, tired. This guy is getting run into the ground unnecessarily. Like, we put so much emphasis on, buying wingers and bringing in wingers this year. And, already we're 4 or 5 games in, and he's already overusing guys that haven't necessarily basically carved out, I'm a starting role in the squad. Like, I am bona fide going to start this game. You have to start me. I don't think that Neto's at that level yet. I still think there's a competition for places, especially on that left side. Now,
It's
as far as
still early in the season, we'll give benefit of the doubt.
yeah, but like, even with that said, though, like, I know everyone likes to see Cole Palmer in the 10. I mean, I loved him on the right. I think that he has more space on the right. He can get on the ball more effectively on the right. He scores goals off the right. He has the ability to, like, again, go anywhere when he's on the right. In the 10, I feel like he gets a little bit too congested at times and gets ghosted out of games, like marked out of games. So I would like to see more of him on the right, to be honest. But that's just me, I guess.
Yeah, I like Cole Palmer on the right. I think he's able to use his pace. He's actually quicker than we think. He's able to go on the glide. He cuts in. I think in the middle, he's still Cole Palmer, but it does take away a little bit of spark from his game. I think cutting in, he's a bit unpredictable. He can go on the outside.
Totally.
He can cut in.
I totally agree with you guys with Cole Palmer being on the right. But again, yesterday we just needed that extra creativity in the midfield for Joao Pedro. That is why I would have made the sacrifice. But I just want to go back to one thing what Couch said earlier on, right? In terms of the mentality dropping, and where we played against Bayern Munich, and some passes wasn't coming off and stuff like that. I think that basically the atmosphere in Bayern Munich had a major part to play in that. Because remember, when we played in the FIFA Club World Cup, in the Club World Cup final, we played where we would have half the fans there, our fans there, and PSG equally the same, right? Bayern Munich, now we are in someone's territory, and this is a big club. We are not just good. We can't be naive enough to just think that we are going to go there and just have our way. And that is what I think was happening. We thought we'd have gone there with the same game plan as the Club World Cup, gone there and done the same thing. But again, Bayern Munich forced us and made us make errors. Because I was seeing Robert Sanchez trying the same passes, but he's kicking the ball out and the ball going out of touch.
Yeah, ball going out a lot.
All this kind of stuff. So I was like, maybe we should.
Yeah, spot on, Jesse. I think, listen, yesterday's game was, again, I loved it. A lot of games this season with small margins, why we didn't win Palace and Brentford, and even yesterday we didn't get a result. I didn't expect us to win. I said a 1-1 draw. I think 2-2, I rescinded it to 1-1. It's small margins. Like you said, the stadium, the atmosphere, the naivety from the manager, these small things, these little tweaks here and there, the substitution changes, they make a big difference. Especially, I said this on the stream yesterday, Couch, Devon, Jesse. I said, if we played the exact same way against Benfica, we probably get away with a win. We probably, because maybe we don't know, that Kane chance drops to another striker who takes another touch, he doesn't score it. Or Elise, they don't have a wing of Elise's level, so when he gets the ball, he might lose it. But it still wouldn't have been a great game, but you might get away with a Cole Palmer goal, 2 goals. You might get away with it and win 2-1. And you can keep it moving. Like Arsenal the other day, didn't play great, got 2-0. Liverpool yesterday, didn't play great, played better, 1-3-2. They're not blowing teams away. I'm not expecting Chelsea to go Bayern Munich and beat them up and easy draw, but I'm expecting us to be a little bit more competent on the ball. Sanchez, better passes up from the back. Reece James wasn't great in midfield, you know?
Yeah,
Individually,
just on just on Robert Sanchez, like, his overall distribution was quite good. Like I think that his overall distribution was quite good. If you look at the numbers, he was about 80% in his passes and 7 or 14 long balls. It was just the ones that we wanted to see him connect on, where Gusto's like angling up the pitch. And if Gusto would have stayed on side a little bit more, then anyway,
he was in. No.
yeah, he was in. You know, like there were opportunities where Robert Sanchez released guys, and you know the next action just fell apart, right? But you know, the thing that I didn't understand, and I understand the tactic was to play similar to the way that we did at PSG, just bypass their press and just get right into their defense. But the thing, and I think that this is where the adjustment should have been made. They weren't pressing with like 5s and 6s. They were pressing with 4. We should have been able to build from the back and play through them. We did it a couple times, but I wanted to see that more because between the 4 players that they're pressing, we should be able to have the numerical advantage when we're building up from the back to play through those teams. And I just don't understand why every time that we try to, we had the ball, we're just looking to launch it down pitch rather than just like trying to build how we normally do.
That's on the individuals. Because
no, that's the game plan. That's the game plan.
That was the game plan, Chess. Exactly what I was not about to say. That was the game plan.
Yes,
the
same exact
game plan where we played against PSG. That's exactly
but if it
what
doesn't work good enough, I look at the manager. That's why I say that, boys. Like for example, if we play Man United this weekend, after seeing how we played the last 2 games, where I'm not going to be a manager for Brentford because he's done the subs, he's done enough to win the game. Okay, I will blame him for yesterday because I think he can have done a bit more tactically to change something, be a bit more flexible and adjust the style of play because it wasn't working. But if we do the same thing as Man United now, we do a good setup, but it doesn't work after a certain amount of time, and the fans and Man United's passion fights them into a win or draw. That's 3 games where I've gone, a similar thing has happened in all 3 games. Then it is the manager. Like for me, if the team isn't playing out from the back and then its couch is correct and you've got 4-man pressing you and they're constantly missing that offside pass, Gusto's is a bit offside, the margins are small. Change something up.
Yeah,
Like
these are big games. Like you can't.
I don't know why we didn't try to build from the back. Yeah, I like that. That to me, like the fact that Robert Sanchez had 14 long balls in that game, and we only had 44% possession. Like that's a telling stat. You know, we were looking to hit them long and get right into their defense. Where I think the tactic should have been is trying to control the game a little bit more, play out from the back, and build from there. You know, it's 100% Ike, 100% Lavia. This is a game for Lavia, 110%. This is exactly the game that you want to see Lavia.
Areas.
Press resistance, line breaking passes, everything. Like he's a guy that can control the tempo and set the tempo, right? So, yeah, it would have been nice to see him, but guys, I've been saying that for 3 years now. I feel like
the players that we needed for this game yesterday, injured. Lavia and Delap. Those 2 would have been just again. I was watching that game. I was like, man, we needed Delap for this game in particular because he was going to bully those centre backs. See, that's his MO, that's his game. That is what he likes, to occupy those guys. And
Jesse,
we just didn't have him.
When you bring that up, it's because people are discussing about Enzo, whether he's a 6, a 8, a 10. He played in the 10. He was bad. He's better as an 8. My thing is, when you have a game and say Enzo's anonymous like that, and then you have Delap, you can shift Pedro back and put Delap up front. And that's the change I would have hoped Maresca would have made, but obviously these players are injured. And it's just a lot of this where it's like we have a mix of poor finishing of the window from the board. Then we have inopportune injuries in key positions. Then on top of that, it's like we're not clicking, we're not firing starting the season. So I'm just trying to think how we can like get it together for United and for the the next couple of games coming forward, because it's like we're creating a negative trend right now.
Now,
Honestly,
here's what I would say with that, right? We can play the same exact way against United and win.
yeah, that's what I
The
said. Yeah,
reason
the
why,
quality,
the
the quality
reason
is
why
lower.
I
You can
saying
win
that
with it. Yeah.
exactly, the quality is lower. Bayern Munich is a team. They are a unit. New players can go there and instantly click with that team, as we are seeing with Diaz. Man United is terrible. The quality they have is terrible. But what will be in Man United's favor is that we all can agree, Pedro looked tired. Pedro Neto didn't look like himself. We played a big game yesterday, and now we have to go and travel yet again to Old Trafford. So now this Man United they need to win this game, especially Amorim. But we equally need to go up there and win, because we haven't won there in 12 years, since 2013.
Now, Jesse,
And
you know
we
what it is.
need to go up there.
Listen, yeah, like this weekend is even more of a must than last year. I remember last year we went there and we were on a good run. We were on a good run, and we drew this game. And I think we drew against Arsenal shortly after, and it was really underwhelming because it was 2 games back to back we drew, and we could have been like way up in the league and fighting. And it could be a similar thing this season. If we don't win this week, it'll be 9 points from 15. If we
Yep,
win,
and then
though,
you put yourself back in that top 4 fight.
exactly top 4 battle things. If you win, though, 11 for 15, that's fine. Keep moving. You know, keep 11-15. You play Benfica. You play, I think, other low quality Champions League team. Pick up a few wins, draw. Cool, that's fine. You don't win this weekend now. Brentford, Bayern, Man United. It's not looking good. All different level of opposition, all different style of plays, and you can't beat any of them and get a result. That's poor. And the squad is good enough to get results. I mean, no excuses this weekend. I'm not going to go into this game. We do a preview probably tomorrow and go, we better beat Man United 3-0. I never said that. But like Jesse said correctly, if you play the same way, I do want my individuals step up. But the quality of Man United and Bayern Munich is so stark that the quality of chances and the style of play they'll have won't be able to do the same damage that Bayern Munich did yesterday. Elise, we all saw it with all of our 8 eyes, yeah? Elise is ball control, his ball retention, his passing, his weight. They don't have that.
Link up
A lot
play.
of Prem teams don't have that. The way Elise manipulates the football, he's so smart. He didn't lose the ball once. I don't remember losing the ball once. He just
I think Cucurella got him once, and then every other time, like Jimmy was saying in the chat that like, oh no, he never got him. Like, it's not about him getting him. He's not really a guy that's going to be like dribbling past you for pace and stuff like that. Even though he's kind of pacey, he looks faster now than he did at Crystal Palace. I'll say that. But I think the thing that you get from Elise is the way he sees the game. The way he sees the game is like nobody. I haven't seen a player like that in a long time. You know, he has vision and execution at the highest level. Like, there were some of those passes that he slipped into the channel, like into the box, like maybe about an 8 to 10 yard pass that got guys clearing on goal, and like they fluffed the opportunity. But you know, these are the things that you don't see players make. He really did, but these are the things that you don't see players make on a regular basis on that wide position. They're looking to like use pace and dribble past guys. Elise is more cerebral when he's in those positions, and he tries to set up people and you know, move people. He's looking for movement off the ball. Similar to.
Well,
you tell me.
CP, man. Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
For me, Cole
Palmer. I don't know. I think they're different, really. I think Elise just has a different kind of vision. They're both quality players.
I don't want to say IQ, but at least they would have the higher ball IQ as far as decision making, in my opinion.
I think so. I don't know. No, I don't know about that.
Listen, you say this, but we've seen periods, and I'm not talking about a week or two. We've seen periods where Cole Palmer is not making the correct decisions, or he's bluffing his shot, or
it's not even that. Like, everyone makes poor decisions. You say that about
I know
about Elise too, but I just feel like Elise, again, to me, he just sees the game differently. Like, when I see him on the ball, I see him do things that I don't normally see wingers do. That's what I mean. Cole Palmer
Yeah,
is a
100%.
decisive winger. Like he's a guy that makes decisive actions. Like when I'm getting in, I'm scoring. You know, one
Yeah, I'd
touch
say
back of the
Cole Palmer's
net.
definitely more clinical than Elise, 100%. He's way more
Absolutely.
efficient when it comes to attacking. But for example, Cole Palmer probably scores that chance. But then having said that, he missed the same chance against who?
Mm,
Brentford.
yeah.
They both missed the exact same chance, people. Was it a good save by Kelleher? Was it a good save by Sanchez? Or was it a bad miss? Do you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, let's do a super chat.
I want your thoughts. Yeah, go ahead, man.
No, I'll get one sec then. Big up Martian29 for the positive super chat. Big up for the super chat every single time. And big up to everybody in the building. There's still decent numbers of you. Jesse, you know what, Guan, Couch, Deb, always here. Descriptions down below. We're adding literally after the super chat. But big up Martian29 for the super chat. Beat yourself. Not sure if I've watched the same game as the others. I thought the performance was not as bad. Sorry, was not bad at all. All goals were our errors, which I agree with. The only clear chance was the Elise one. The team can only learn and improve from this game. I agree with you. We have to look at it positively.
I don't know if I agree with that, to be honest. Like I thought that Bayern were in the ascendancy for the most of the game. Yeah, the first actions of the game. Oh, dude, come on, man! They had so many opportunities. That could have been a 6-1 game.
I don't walk away from the game going like, "Wow, Bayern Munich."
Really,
I did. Just seeing Devia. I know you're both from mute quickly.
Goals change games, but I'm just gonna say goals change games, and like obviously the errors that led to goals were costly. But I still felt like overall the game in and of itself, I thought Bayern were in the ascendancy for the most of it. Like there were opportunities that they didn't take that, you know, you were thinking, okay, wow, we got lucky there. There was that chance where where Elise plays in, I can't even remember who it was that was running off the ball, and the guy just skims it past the right post. There's a chance that Elise gets in, should have buried it, doesn't. Kane gets in behind the back line, doesn't bury it. Like,
oh yeah, Lima cut that to Kane.
Yeah, all of that, man. Like all of that was there, you know.
Yeah,
but
like, even despite that, I look at it more as, oh, Chelsea, man, rather than Bayern great. It was more us than them.
I have to agree with Coach. The reason why is not just that Bayern was good on the night in the majority of the game. Again, they set traps for us. And the trap that they set, we fell into it because, as somebody said earlier on, couple times when Sanchez played the ball over the top of Gusto was offside. They set traps. They knew that we were going to do this. And with their setting traps, and that just made us look bad, and them look good. They had so much, besides the first 15 minutes, and it was not even much where we attacked them a lot. No, we just had plenty of the ball, and we were in the game there. What I would agree with Ches is, if the chance that Enzo Fernandez got, if he took that chance, this could have been a different game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because think about the PSG game. In the PSG game, I think Cole Palmer missed a chance earlier on, and we were like, he should have scored that. We're in the ascendancy, you know? I think start of the PSG game, they played really well, PSG. I think they had a chance or two. And then there was a period
where shortly after we kept putting it on them. That was the difference.
And then we put it on them, and then Cole Palmer missed that open set, and we were like, no, that's the chance. That's it. And then what does he go and do right after? He gets the same chance, and he scores it. You see? That's the difference. Yesterday, Enzo had 2 chances. He misses both of them. And then Bayern Munich get into the game, and lo and behold, because they're Harry Kane-esque and Elise, they score literally both their chances they get. Cut back, goal, penalty, poor mistake, goal. 2-0, basically the game's done. You're not beating Allianz. You're not beating Bayern Munich from there. It rarely happens. They haven't lost a home game in the Champions League for 6 years for a reason. You know, so against all opposition, by the way. All opposition. So for me, I think it's fair for rivals and Chelsea fans not to overdo this game, but I'm actually fed up of doing this justifying my Chelsea doing this, and we can do better here.
Bro, that's what a fan does, man. That's a fan.
No, but
Couch,
I'm talking about hold on, from the POV from last season, I need to see improvement. So, for example, in the league, I don't want to be here talking to you guys on Sunday evening or Monday morning doing the same rhetoric. Oh, yeah, it was a draw, but Lavia wasn't there. And I'm not saying we're going to say this, but Maresca could have made better subs. We need to improve, man, because there's teams who are going to fly ahead of us who also sign young players, better quality players than us, who are just going to fly away.
Because you know what it is, though? It's like at a certain point, like, and that's why I'm waiting, because it's too early in the season for me to make some of the statements I can make. I just want to get to game week 15 and see what it's at, because where we're at right now, it just doesn't look good. That's it. There's no hyperbole, no dramaticism. It just doesn't look good. Left-hand side has been looking stinky the last 3 games. Our defensive mistakes are showing game in, game out. We're getting to a point where I like to criticize Sanchez, but what can I really say? Like, he is the best part of the defense right now, and in the last 2 games at least. So at a certain point in time, there are no excuses, man. Like, and I know we have injuries. So does everybody else in the league. I know there's certain parts of our team that are not ready to compete at the highest level, but that excuse is not going to run. It's very simple. We're going to go against United this weekend, and that game is going to determine a lot of the vibes. If we lose that game, it's going to be peak. I'm not saying it like, oh, the season's over. I'm just saying a lot of people are going to lose their shit.
No. I said this before. I spoke to you two. I think Rob was there as well. We literally said, after the Brentford result, we spoke Brentford. We spoke about that, and we said previewing this game, we said the next 2 games we could in Bayern are going to tell us a lot about our team, mentality-wise, squad depth-wise. And then we were like, no, but it's still early. But the problem is we've had a wide range of games now. So even though it's game week 5 or 6, we've played different level opposition, and we are in a position where if we don't win, it's not good points on the board wise and optics wise. Because now you're
played mid-table teams,
after game week 5. Teams. Like, we're in game week 5, and we might be like 6 points behind Liverpool already. Game week 5. I'm not saying we need to win the league. I'm not saying we are going to win the league, so therefore it's poor in that perspective. But you can't be 6-7 points behind Liverpool game week 5. I don't care whether you think they're 10 times better than Chelsea.
And then think you're going to get back into it. Yeah,
and then all of a sudden just get back into it and they're going to drop off. No, they're not with Isaac and the clutch players. They have the clutch players. We don't have much clutch players. We've only probably got like 2. Caicedo and Palmer. Maybe Enzo on off day.
Maybe Enzo, but not consistent enough.
No, the only clutch players I know will perform game in, game out against big opposition, I will be confident in saying is CP and MC. That's it. Everyone else may be good, maybe not so good. You know what I'm saying? So, Man United, we're going to preview that game at video, which means tomorrow. And I am not that confident in terms of getting a win because our record there and the way we're playing. But briefly, boys, let's start with then Jesse, then Dev. What do you want to... We're going to talk about the game in depth tomorrow in terms of starting 11 stuff, but if you're here, if not, it's fine. What do you want to see different from the last 3 games or so against Man United, especially as we have a poor record there at their ground?
What do I want to see?
Different to what you've seen because we haven't had good results recently and good performances.
Are you mean specifically from against Man United, or are you talking about
against Man United because that's our next time to?
No. I mean, but are you saying what I want to see different from our games past from Man United versus, or are you just talking about how we started the season?
How we're playing. Sorry, my bad. How we play. Okay. What do you want to see different against Man U as our next opponent?
Yeah, that's a tough question, man, because I just don't think that we have enough guys that are going right now. I really don't think that we've got anyone that's really banging form right now. And so I guess what I'd like to see is just an informed Chelsea, just a team that is ready from jump to come in and take the game. You know, I just think that this is going to be a slow burn to a season. I don't think that we're right now playing our best football. And I don't think that, you know, I don't think that we can expect it just given the fact that we didn't really have a preseason. I feel like we're still in preseason mode. Unfortunately, the games are coming thick and fast. So I don't think that there's anything that Maresca can do per se that's going to deeply impact what we're going to see on the pitch. It's just we have to have the players show up and play. You know, they have to put together a performance. we're not seeing enough from four or five players that we depend on to deliver. And until we get that, we're going to be struggling. So I'm hoping for fitness. I would love to see Fofana come back into the side. I wanted to ask you guys, and maybe this is something that we could discuss another day. I know that there's something to be said about Fofana as a passer. He's not. I would say that he's probably like our worst center back passer, right? But in terms of being the anchor, the guy that can be like the libero in the back, guy that can like get on the ball and move it quickly, press resistance, all that stuff. I kind of want to see him in the middle now, the middle of three. I know the passing isn't quite there, but I would also say that Tosin's not an elite level passer anyways, right? He's just serviceable and good. So I'm kind of thinking that I want to at least get a look at Fofana in the middle just to see what that looks like again, because I just can't remember. Maybe that's not the best idea. Maybe that's not the best way to go about it. Just like the fact that I can't remember what he looks like in that position. But
guys, you know what? On that, yeah, like you're saying, I would risk it against Man United because we played so poorly last 4 or 5 games. I would actually just change things up. I would if Lavi is fit, I would start him.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be fit. Like this is the nature of his injuries.
He won't be fit. So he won't be fit.
I know. But he'll play. But I don't think he'll be fit enough to start. But play for Fofana. Just play him from the start. Do something different. We can't play the same team, maybe a different variation of it.
And especially when the confidence is low. Like Chalobah's confidence is going to be low after getting an own goal. And Tosin, every time he has a shot that he's supposed to defend, it goes through his legs and in the net. Like, don't forget, Harry Kane scored that way again, right? Like, if I'm not mistaken, it went through his legs, right? It went through Tosin's legs and they scored.
Yes, it did. Went straight through his legs.
Yeah, so like that's 3 goals in 3 games where balls going through this guy's legs, man. Like, come on now. His confidence cannot be high. So I don't know. I'm thinking we gotta find a way to change it up a bit. Just change the juju a little bit and just get some, fresh energy. Like, because these guys must be jaded if they're given what they've been doing the last little while.
What are you saying, Jesse? Same question. What do you want to see from our team different? Couch is saying risk it. Not risk it, but play for fun. I want to see how he plays in the middle. What would you do differently? Esteval starting maybe? What would you do?
I will say give players start rotating the team. Because again, we clearly saw Joao Pedro being tired, Pedro Neto being tired. I will say Santos and Esteval absolutely has to start against Manchester United. Ain't no different. What I want to see is that we pass the ball quicker and we attack more. And when I mean attack more, if we score a goal early, we have this tendency to sit back after that. I don't want to see that, especially against this Man United team. Absolutely not. We need to attack more. We need to have a little more energy, as Coach said, a little more fitness. So I definitely will start Esteval Willian and Santos in this team. Give Enzo a rest, because now here's the thing, right? We can all agree here that Cole Palmer looked the most fittest on the team. That is why he got rest. He was rested. He didn't go on an international because he had a slight injury. He was rested. Even against Brentford, he came on and he scored that goal. He looked energetic because he got rest. I was in the chat when you all were speaking the other day, and I said that Cole Palmer, the reason why he looked so because he needed the rest. So Enzo, Fernandez, Joao Pedro, these guys should come off of the bench to make impacts. But Santos needs to start, Esteval needs to start. If somehow with some ever Hail Mary, Lavia is there, then we could go with what Chelsea and probably not start him, but bring him on for like about 20 minutes or so. But yeah, just give other players a chance, trust the team that you have, and I need to see them attacking more with that energy and quicker passes.
Yeah.
You saying, Dev?
I mean, mine and for me, it's just like from Maresca, I think Jesse had it spot on. And the key words is trust the team you have. We know that Maresca notoriously does not rate GUI. I need you to start rating him or at least using him in a couple of the minutes that he clearly could provide some benefit to the team. And this isn't just about you. Like there's a couple of players. I'm not going to say names because people are going to think I'm starting agendas once again. But like Josh, all these people, I'm not saying they're better than people who are playing now. But if a player is in poor form or a player is low on confidence, at a certain point in time, we can't just go into the window. The window is closed. You need to trust the team you have. So that's my part from Maresca. I personally don't think he should be changing systems all that much because a lot of the times when a manager starts changing his system and tactics just because you're going through a poor run of form, it can cause bigger issues. But neither here nor there. I just want Maresca to trust the team more. Stick to your guns at the moment. I think it's too early to be talking about changing your plan A right now.
Yeah.
Then the second thing would be for the players. I need players to rise, man. I need players to rise. And I'm not even talking about your Chalobahs and Tosins because I don't expect much from them. I told you Enzo, when we were last on the stream, I told you Enzo was my player that I wanted to step up the most. And he's the one that ghosted. And it's not just him, but there are a lot of players in this team that need to rise. It's Man United. We are not talking about Bayern anymore. This is Man United. I am aware of the form. I am aware of who we are when we go to OT, all that shit. There are no excuses. This is the poorest Man United we've seen possibly ever. Maybe they're just a little bit better than last year. No, I'm saying maybe they're a little bit better than last year, so they're not the poorest ever. Because last year was the poorest ever, but this is a poor United team. So to talk about switching our system, not going with our strongest, no, just
the season's still early.
It is still early. I agree. That's why I'm saying it's still too early to be questioning ourselves this much. As far as I'm concerned,
worse than last year. At least last year they finished.
No, yeah, I mean Man United being the poorest. It's still early this season. Wait for it.
Go on, Dev. Sorry, finish with your point.
No. Just finishing it off is just that I need players to rise. I'm not even gonna, describe it more than that. It's, we're not talking about we're 2 points in at the end of a title race and I need you to win this must-win game against Liverpool. We're talking about certain teams we're dropping points against that we have no business dropping points.
Exactly. Literally.
Could have won that Crystal Palace game. Should have won that Brentford game. And now we're going into United. I don't want to have any more coulda, shoulda, wouldas.
Facts.
Go up and show up. And if you don't show up, expect negativity. That's how I see it. Like, I'm not going to come at any fan if we lose against United and they're like, fuck it, the season's done. Like, I see why you're sort of upset. I'm just going to let you have your feelings. At a certain point in time, we need to show up, man. Like, that Club World Cup did us a lot of good, but it did us a lot of damage. Because now people expect us to show up.
Which is a good thing, because it means the standards are higher. Instead of us doing the whole, maybe.
But Chez, you know me. I said this years ago when we got knocked out of the UCL and we couldn't get back in. I said, I don't want standards if we're doing fuck all with them. Excuse my French. If you're not achieving anything, what's the point? Oh, yeah, I have my standards for my club to be doing this, and they're not meeting the standards.
Yeah, because then it's just words, isn't it? It's like, I want to, you're not really doing no actions. I hear you.
Bayern game was disappointing, man, but once again, it's still early in the season, and that shows real mentality. Bounce back, get this dub against United, and we can keep building, keep working. We're a work in progress anyway. All of us knew that before the season started, whether we got our first targets or not. We knew we would be a work in progress as far as competing for the highest honor. But we got to make some progress. That's it. Keep making progress. Don't get into a losing streak. God forbid. That's what will take us out. That's all I got to say.
Losing streak, even drawing. Dropping points is as bad as losing.
No. But Chez, it's different. Like, for example, you remember that period last season when we were like, we had that one win, then it was draw, then loss, draw, loss, win. That period, that is why we ended up in a top 4 battle.
Facts.
That period right there was what put us in the top 4 battle. So if we go through that in the beginning of the season, we don't need to talk further because it's hypotheticals at that point, but it's just not the opportune situation you want to be in. Like you
100%.
said, you're already 5 points behind. 4 points behind Liverpool already.
100%. And I'm going to use Maresca's to the end of the stream. Big everybody's joined. Couch on below, Jesse's as well. Dev's Twitter will be there as well. Big
Big
everybody's
up to the
joined.
rest of you, panel in the chat as well.
Of course, bless up to everybody's joined. Big up Jesse, Den, and
Yes,
Dev. Let's
guys,
end
yes.
it off. I think that we can build something special from this defeat against Bayern. So hopefully the fighting talk, the manager, the mentality is definitely changing the team and the management. Because before he might have said, "Oh, it's a tough game, maybe." Now this time we're saying we can build from this. We can definitely learn from this and keep pushing on. But at the end of the day, all three of their points they've all made. I agree with all aspects of them. Not on the fancy, but literally change the system, trust the squad, get the right mentality, and get the win. I don't want to hear no excuses from any Chelsea fan, including myself, why we didn't pick up 3 points. There's zero excuses. We're best team to Man United. We're going to speak about it tomorrow in the team and stuff. We had a poor game against Bayern Munich overall. Poor game against Brentford because of the result in the end. We need to win. You need to trust the squad. You need to have a bit more front-footedness about you. Pull up the handbrake. Pull down the handbrake, sorry. Don't be scared about Man United and what they can do. Focus on what we can be good at. We get the 3 points, and we can, you know what? We lost against Bayern Munich, tough ground, but guess what? We're 11 points out of 15. Fine. Not the end of the world, right? Fine. But if you don't win that game now, you draw it, 9 points out of 15, that's top 4-5 standard, bro. That's top 5, maybe top 4. That's not good enough. So it's not good enough. We need to improve as a team. And like Carl said, I would actually play Garnacho and Fofana in this game. I'll start from the beginning. My personal thing is, I'll keep the same system, not with Caicedo, not James Midfield, but Enzo Caicedo, and I would actually play a Garnacho, Palmer, Esteval, Neto front four. That's what I would do.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Huh?
I think that's what's going to happen.
I hope so. I hope Garnacho starts. I just feel like we need to change something up. Garnacho didn't even look that bad against Bayern. Someone did put a comment in saying when a team is average and your subs come on, it does make them look better, which I agree with.
Yeah.
And Bayern step back, so I'm not going to be too naive. Like, oh, it was a great performance. But at least Garnacho brings an unpredictability about our team. Our team at the moment is very predictable. It's very predictable. Fulham figured it out. West Ham, no, fair enough. Crystal Palace definitely figured this out. Bayern figured this out. And Brentford, it wasn't the same figure us out, but they still managed to get a result against us. So maybe play players like Fofana and Garnacho where they're a bit more risk takers. They're a bit more like frantic with it. They're a bit more unpredictable. Maybe
I don't mind the idea. I don't mind the idea of like just bringing guys, you know, like somebody saying drop Neto, drop Enzo. Yeah, and I think that because we had the midweek game and whatnot, it wouldn't be a bad idea to try and win games late at this point. Like give those guys like the Garnachos and like the Santos the start to eat up minutes, and then trying to win it late with your preferred lineup. I don't think that we should be going into this game giving these guys 60, 70 minutes off the backs of what they just did and expecting them to be at the top level. You know what I mean? Just give them the little 30 minutes to try and win at the end. I don't think we need 90 minutes to beat this Man United side. And I can trust that, you know, the likes of Esteval could come in. I haven't seen a bunch of Santos to say one way or the other, but maybe he can come in and give us some minutes there. But yeah, this is a game that we have to trust the squad again to at least eat minutes before we can get back to, you know, getting our preferred lineup in there for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, we're going to preview the game tomorrow. So every person you join, I think we play Saturday. So the preview for Manchester United versus Chelsea Football Club will be tomorrow on the stream, roughly same time, 3 p.m. UK. If in US, we 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. or 6 a.m., whatever it is for you guys. But everybody's joined. A lot of people in here today. We really get to see. And thank you very much to Martian or Marchen 29 for the super chat. Big super chat there. But we'll see you guys soon. So hopefully you see the panel soon. So I'll be up Jesse, Den, and Deb every single time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.
Pick up everybody. Yeah, guys.
Respect.